And joining us now is relationship expert Heide Banks. Great to see you, Heide.
Good to see you.
And the story is so interesting about the new ways people are finding friends, but also there's some scientific evidence to back up why it's meaningful, why it's important that we have friends.
Friends are health. That's the bottom line. Friends help us de-stress. Friends help us not get depressed. There's so much evidence that friendships are the secret to, as you get older, staying healthier.
That's so interesting because as you get older, friendships, they do change somewhat. How do friendships change over the years?
Well, you know, in your 20s and 30s, your friendships are more about, you know, seeking information on children, career, family. We're in those years where we're creating our lives. And then in our 40s, we know more of who we are. And it's usually about being less of me and more about what I'm going to give to the world. So we usually connect with friends that way. Of course, then as we get older in our 60s and we're dealing more with the hardships of life sometimes, health issues, those are the lean-on years, the ones where you really need your besties, your best friends to be there and take care of you.
And you really want to nurture these relationships. You say that as tips that you need to make time, you need to set realistic expectations, and you need to listen. Imagine that, to make good friends.
Really, it's amazing how many times I hear from people and they go, well, you know, my friend, she's never there for me, and I listen to them go on, and I'm going, I wonder how much you're listening to them, how much you've given them a kind ear. But it's important to be consistent with friendships. Be there for somebody, really be there. But the first tip about getting out there and really understanding what a friendship is, make time for them. Put it in your book like a dentist appointment. Put it in like a doctor appointment. Set realistic expectations. Make sure that you're not promising something you can't deliver.
Setting those realistic expectations it can be difficult. It really can, because with our schedules, from children to jobs to paying the bills, everything else that's going on, how does one think about setting those expectations? Should you be sort of negative up front, or do you want to maintain that positivity and maintain the optionality of nurturing the friendship?
Especially when you're making new friendships, especially, here's the key, do not overcommit, because then the person will think you're not dependable. It's sort of like the old rules about when you're forming a relationship for the first time. Don't gossip, don't get into negative things about old friends. All of those rules apply when creating new friendships.
The types of things that could be red flags to new friends, to think you're not really going to be the greatest friend. I want to go through some of your significant tips about making new friends. You say reach out, join, and be open-minded.
Well, reaching out is the most important thing. Everybody wants friends, so don't be afraid to start a conversation wherever you are and create a friendship. Join, so important. Clubs, organizations. And if you don't know anybody, let's say you move to a new town, you don't have friends, don't be afraid to go up to the leader of the group and say, hey, I'm here on my own. Can you help me out? Be vulnerable, be open to that.
And if that's a decent person, they'll be a good friend to you.
Absolutely, for the rest of your life. And that's really what we're looking for. You know, there are really three kinds of friendships. There are those that you have forever. They're the friends that are your besties, I like to call them, you know, and you can tell everything to. And then there are the friends that you make that are new. It takes time to percolate a relationship. It takes time to get to know a person. So those are the friends you may share some confidences with, but you're not quite there yet. And then there are acquaintances. There are the people that you don't know that well, and you're not going to really ever have that close to you, but they're good to have in your life, to mix it up. Friends are like cocktails. Mix them up.
I like that. I like that. Well, one of our early show friends, Heide Banks, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Such a pleasure.